Sallisaw Blue by John Moreland is in standard tuning and is a song that the chord structure is standard chords, but the rhythm and the main riff that is running throughout the entire thing is pretty difficult to really get hammered down. The riff is flat picked, and you'll hear if you listen to John Moreland play the song live, he usually starts it off by kind of establishing the rhythm just on muted strings. And that rhythm is taking place throughout the entire song. Sometimes you're strumming across all strings doing that. Sometimes you're just doing it on one string or moving from one string to another as you do it, which is flat picking. So that right there is going to be really important to get your right hand to establish the whole time, and it drives through the entire thing. And in some instances, as you'll notice a little bit later, your chord changes are happening somewhat independently from this driving feel that happens all at the same time. So anyway, the main riff, you're going to begin it with your second finger on the third string second fret and pull it up or slide it up to the third string third fret. And you're going to hit some 16th notes or some of those up and down notes on this as you pull it up. And it's okay if you pick the open third or the open second string and the open third string a little bit in this. It's kind of sloppy, but you really want to be emphasizing for sure this sound. And you can do that while also striking some of these other strings. In watching John Moreland play this live, I'm pretty sure that he starts it with an up strum, so like up strumming on the second fret, and then sliding up to the first, or sliding up to the third fret of the third string, and then striking back down and going into those up downs, up downs. And then once you get that rhythm down, then you put your first finger down on the third string second fret, open it up to the open third string, and then you put your second finger down on the fourth string second fret, that's your ring finger down on the fourth string second fret. So again, real slow, our movements, I'm using my second finger for a lot of this. That's a lot of the riff. And then the back half of it is, the way that you do that is you hit the G string twice, and then your first finger on the fifth string first fret, open up the fifth string, and then ring finger down on the sixth string third fret. And that's your whole riff. And it happens throughout the entire song. The hardest part is going to be able to get that riff clean, which is really hard for me to even do. It's some pretty clean flat picking over that riff, and then immediately just into full out strums. So, learning that riff, then you've got to integrate the chords. The first chord is a G, just a standard G chord. I'm really not even putting my ring finger down on it the way that it should go. I'm just putting my ring finger on the sixth string third fret and my pinky finger back on the first string third fret. And I'm muting out the fifth string how I'm laying my ring finger, and that's my G chord. So you lead into the G chord with your riff, and then immediately it goes into G over C. So you leave your ring and your pinky where they are, and you take your second finger and you place it down on the 4th string 2nd fret, and your first finger goes down on the 2nd string 1st fret. That's your C. And after the C, it goes right back into the G. So listen to this movement real quick. And then it back into the riff. That's one part of the verse, and in practicing this, you might want to just stop right here and get that part down. Go to Spotify, pull up this song, and play about the first 15-20 seconds of it over and over again. One thing about the actual album version real quick. What I'm showing you is what I've seen him do live. The album version, there's some other hiccup notes that are somewhere on the 4th string that I never did figure out the right way. But what I'm showing you right now is what he does live. So anyway, stop right here and figure out this riff along with the chords of just those first 2 chords. That's the first movement. G, C, G, riff. Okay, so let's assume that you've stopped and that you've come back. The second part, where he sings of, they've got, I think, silver spoons for American gods, that actually is going to, that round starts on a C. So where you've got your ring and your pinky finger still where they've always been, put down your second finger and your first finger into that C position that we just learned for the intro of your second finger going on the 4th string 2nd fret and your first finger going on the 2nd string 1st fret. They've got silver spoons for American gods, and then it goes back into the riff again. Except for here, it doesn't terminate into the G because we're still on this C. And this is one of the trickiest parts of this song, is that in the riff coming out of the C, instead of terminating all the way back down to the G, it gets to, and after this, it does a walk up into C, where you run, or it looks like what John Moreland is doing is running from his ring finger on the 6th string 3rd fret to the open 5th string to the fretted 5th string on the 2nd fret to a full-blown C chord with your ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, your second finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, 3rd string open, and 2nd string fretted with your first finger on the 1st fret. And that would come together out of the C to For American Gods, and then immediately back down into the G. And those are the verses. You've got 2 riffs that are happening during the verses. The one riff that's the same as the intro that terminates to the G, and then whenever the verse lyrics go into the C movement, the part that's Silver Spoons for American Gods, or I've got a neon sign that says Big Bad Love, that's being sung over the C, and the riff that comes after it doesn't terminate to the G. Again, it goes, which is the same as everything so far, except for then G, A, B, C. Real slow. And then back into the G. Alright, once you get this part down, and that is the hardest part of the song, the fact that it's happening with this strumming pattern the whole time. chorus is going to be a D with an open first string. Sorry, my computer went to sleep for a second. After you hit the D, first finger on the third string, second fret, ring finger on the second string, third fret, and open first string. After you strum through that D, you'll see John Moreland go to part of a D7, where you take your second finger and move it to the third string, second fret. Your first finger goes on the second string, first fret. He strums through that with an open first string and then lays down his ring finger on the first string, second fret, and you get a full-blown D7. So D. So that's your D movement in the chorus, where he's saying it's no use. Then A minor, God bless these blues. Let's get E minor, wrecked and bruised, and G, shattered. Then back to the D. Same movement there to the D7, then an A minor. Walk up to a C, where you hammer on to the fifth string, second fret, and then push on up into the C. So your A minor, walk to the C, and then to the D, where it lingers on the D for a second, and then it goes to the D7, where he's saying, like, I've got a neon sign that says Big Bad Love. He's like repeating that refrain. And then after the D7, you're going to slide up to this shape right here. You've got your ring finger on the third string, fifth fret. You've got your first finger on the second string, third fret. And you're going to hit your 16th just up and down notes across that. But then you're going to walk down. The way that you do that is you got that shape. And a lot of the emphasis is taking place on the third string, fifth fret. Go from the third string, fifth fret to the third string, fourth fret. You can just move your ring finger down, then first finger on the third string, second fret. So you've got, and then you put your ring finger down on the fourth string, fourth fret. And then back to your first finger. And then second finger to the fourth string's third fret. First finger to the fourth string, second fret. And then G, I think. I'm sorry, it opens up to the open fourth string. And then it goes back into the G. So again, that run is hopefully that gives you an idea about how to approach this John Moreland song, Sallisaw Blue.